Welcome back to Touring Townsends. We're Dave and Jill and we travel as much as possible in our Carthago Liner for Two motorhome. We're currently on a road trip around the Pembrokeshire coastline. We started off in Tenby and we're working our way around the coast in beautiful weather as the UK's in a heatwave. This week we stop off to visit the fantastic Pembroke Castle, where they have free guided tours which were really interesting. We then moved on to St Ishmaels, staying at the Sports and Social Club for a costly £15 a night, a beautiful position near the Milford Haven estuary. We then moved further west again to near Marloes to a fantastic little CL. This one was only £10 a night, beautifully laid out pitches and fantastic views over St Bride's Bay. Welcome back to Touring Townsends, and you join us as we continue our Pembrokeshire coastal tour. Today we're heading to Pembroke to visit Pembroke Castle before moving further west along the coast. There's a small car park not far from Pembroke Castle that has some larger spaces suitable for motorhomes. This worked out perfectly for us. If you enjoy the video, please don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. It's completely free with no obligation, but it really helps us to grow the channel. And don't forget to leave a comment, ask a question, tell us what you think about the videos. We love to read them and we'd like to hear more. It's £13 per adult to get into the castle, and that includes the free guided tour that runs every hour. One of the guided tours was starting soon after we arrived, so we joined it and we immediately went over to the big map where we were told lots of history about the area before then going round in the tour. After the tour, we then climbed to the top of the tower, had a look at all the fantastic views, and then explored the rest of the buildings and had some lunch. The first building here was back in 1093 and was built after the Norman invasion. It was then rebuilt in stone at the end of the 12th and beginning of the 13th century, at which point there was a high circular keep added, the first in the UK. The castle is the birthplace of Henry VII, who was Henry Tudor and founded the Tudor dynasty. The guided tour will give a full background and history of the castle, and is very well told. On leaving the castle, we headed towards our next stay in St Ishmaels. We hadn't really looked at the route in any detail beforehand, and we soon realised that there were some very narrow roads. So having gone round in a couple of circles, we then headed towards Haverfordwest and back out. Unfortunately, we still got caught on some very narrow tracks thanks to the sat-nav, but we did make it safely in one piece. It was another beautiful day the next day, so we walked along the field that we were parked on and straight onto the coast path. A short walk from the site, there is a beautiful beach, Linsway Bay, that's quite difficult to get to, lots of steep steps, and this means hardly anybody goes there, so we had our own private beach. You have to make sure you check the tides before you visit. The sand is completely covered at high tide, but we were really lucky with the tides that week, so we were able to have the full day down on the beach as the tide went out. Good morning. So we're still in the midst of a heat wave, but it is a little bit cooler today. So we're going to try and take a nice walk along the coast. We've got a circular walk planned, which will actually bring us right past this place, but we'll continue on and do a nice loop of the coast. The first part of the walk was through lanes and fields. Horseflies were quite a problem, and we did end up getting bitten. As we came around the corner, we could see Dale in the distance across the water. And on the marshland, there were curlew, quite a lot once we got the binoculars out. We then followed the road back into the village, and with a quick stop at the pub, we went back to site. Good morning. So our time at St Ishmaels has come to an end. So today we've got the slightly hairy task of driving to our next place, which is a CL just past Marloes. Anybody who knows the roads around here will know that it's all very narrow. We had a bit of a drive just getting here on narrow roads, so not looking forward to this. We'll see how it goes. On leaving the site, we'd opted to drive through the village this time, as the roads in and the other direction have been so narrow. This did turn out to be still a tight squeeze in places. We'd walked this road, but we didn't realise it was quite as narrow as it turned out to be in a motorhome. The biggest challenge of the journey was when we took the turning towards Marloes, and there was a lot of traffic coming the other way, and some people were very nervous about trying to drive past the motorhome. This resulted in us having to do quite a bit of reversing. With a van behind us, this wasn't particularly easy. The hold-up then meant there was quite a queue of traffic built up. We then had to sit and wait while they all came by. We eventually made it safely in one piece to the site, with just a few additional scratches on the side of the van. So we're all parked up in a little CL. We're only paying £10 a night for this one, and it's in a beautiful location, even though it was very frightening to drive here. So we're off to do a bit of a coastal walk around the headland. It's very windy today. I don't know if you can hear that, but I suspect we're going to get blown around, but hopefully still lots of lovely scenery. As we walked towards sight away from the coast path, we came across a field full of choughs, at least 20 plus. Good morning. So up to another day. It was blue skies, but right now it's a little bit cloudy, but still nice and warm, and the wind has dropped. So we're off to walk the coast in the opposite direction to yesterday. We're heading towards Dale, and we've got a table booked for a nice Sunday lunch when we get there as our reward. We did have a boat trip booked for yesterday, which was cancelled due to the wind. So at the moment, that boat trip is going ahead this evening. So hopefully we'll be back and down to the boat for 7 o'clock sailing. After a delicious lunch, we headed back along the same route to our site. Our evening boat trip went from Martin's Haven and was supposed to go around Skomer and Stockholm Islands. However, due to the wind, it simply went up one side of Skomer and then back again. One of the main purposes of the trip was obviously to see the bird life, but we were amazed at how many puffins were around, just sitting on the sea, enjoying the evening sun. We then moved on into more open water, and there were loads of Manx shearwater. They collect on the water in the evening in big rafts, waiting for dark so that they can dodge the gulls as they head back to the islands to roost. This disturbance was caused by a gull flying over. So it was sadly time to leave this beautiful little CL. We may well come back there again, although I don't look forward to the drive. So we're going to leave the video there, guys. Next week we'll be moving on even further north and west, firstly to Broadhaven and then on to St David's. If you've enjoyed the video, please don't forget to give it a like and subscribe if you haven't already. It's going to help us grow. And do leave a comment. We're not getting many comments at the moment, and we'd love to engage more with our audience. See you next time.